What's up guys, Levine here, and in today's video we're going to talk about self-discipline. What self-discipline can do for your life, how you can cultivate more of it, and why it is so freaking crucial. So the first point I want to make is this. Self-discipline is not what you thought it is. Self-discipline is actually not being rigid. It is not forcing yourself to do things that you do not want to do. It's more about living life in accordance with your goals, living life in alignment with your higher vision, in alignment with the goals that you have, okay? So basically, self-discipline is freedom, like you all already have heard, right? And self-discipline is that one character trait that will ensure you get success in life, and that will ensure that you're able to be consistent over a consistent period of time. Because in my opinion, entrepreneurship is about being able to do whatever needs to be done every single day, no matter what. And that is the problem that a lot of beginner entrepreneurs are having in creating their business, is they're not able to be consistent enough every single day. Maybe because of mental blocks, maybe because their environment is not supporting that, whatever it may be. But the solution for not being successful is just finding a proven strategy and doing that consistently until you succeed, basically. So the one quality that will ensure you're being consistent in your business is being self-disciplined. Because when you are self-disciplined, you are able to act every single day in alignment with that vision of yourself and that vision of life that you have. Right? So being self-disciplined is so freaking important. Not even if you're an entrepreneur, but also just if you're a regular human being trying to achieve something in life. Okay. And when you're not living with self-discipline, you're actually living by default, which means that you're doing whatever it is that you were programmed to do, whatever it is that your environment wants you to do. But when you're being self-disciplined, you're living by design. You're literally creating a vision and you're creating an action plan to achieve that vision. And you're doing that every single day, no matter what, which means that you are designing your life. You are being at the driver's seat of your life. And that is why being self-disciplined is so freaking crucial. We have consistency, we have living in harmony and alignment with our goals, and that's it. So how do you actually become more self-disciplined? Well, before you want to become more self-disciplined, I want to ask you this. Are you clear on your vision and on your purpose? Because you see, you can go out there right now and say, okay, I want to be more self-disciplined, so I'm going to start doing this, this, and that. But the thing is that we as human beings, we are lazy as fuck. And if we don't have a good enough reason or a vision to do something, then we won't be able to overcome the challenges that will come with trying to achieve it, right? So first of all, before you start to get disciplined, before you start putting the intention of becoming more self-disciplined, I want to ask you to get very, very clear on your vision. How much money do you want to make? What kind of house do you want to live in? What kind of people do you want to be surrounded with, right? Really get into the details and then ask yourself this. Why do you want all of those things? Why do you want freedom? Why do you want to make that amount of money? Will you be able to provide for your family after that? Will you be able to experience some amazing experiences with your friends or your loved ones? Will you be able to donate to charities, make an impact? Why do you want all of those things that you want to achieve? It is very hard for you to uncover your emotional driver, what actually drives you. So you have that driver to rely on when you don't feel like doing it. And that is an absolute key to becoming more self-disciplined. You need to have a strong enough reason for why you need to achieve that vision of yours, that goal of yours. And then everything rest just unfolds naturally. Okay, so that is really the first thing I want to say. Get clear on your vision and on your goal and on your purpose, okay? After that, yeah, of course, have an action plan. What are the top 2 to 3 things you have to do every single day to actually accomplish that goal of yours? I'm not saying, and I want you to keep in mind the 80-20 rule. 20% of the things, of the actions you do account for 80% of the results or the progress to the goal, okay? So out of 10 things, there are probably going to be like 2 really impactful things that you can do for your business, for example. So if I'm right here wanting to grow a YouTube channel, I'm probably not going to go and spend hours and hours writing descriptions, optimizing keywords, whatever. I'm just going to focus on creating good quality content that people actually want to watch and that is really valuable, right? So that is the only thing I'm going to focus on, and that is basically the 80-20 of building a YouTube channel. Now, I want to ask you this. What is the 80-20 of building your business or doing whatever it is that you want to do? Maybe it's the gym, where you focus on just consistent training and diet, right? So really have a clear vision, have a clear goal, and then ask yourself, what are the 2 to 3 most impactful activities you need to do on a daily basis to achieve it, right? And so the next point is this. The biggest key you can do for becoming more self-disciplined is making it hard for you to not be self-disciplined. And what I mean by this is we want to design our environment and our habits in a way that allows us to use as minimal willpower as we need to. We will need to use willpower at the beginning to cultivate new habits and routines, etc. But we need to have that environmental design where we basically make it hard for us to not do the activities that we need to do every single day. Now, what I mean by this is this. For example, create a morning routine where for the 2 to 3 first hours of the day, you work on the most impactful task that you have. And while you work on that, you have the intention of, the only thing I'm doing is working on this task right here. I am turning off my phone or have it on airplane mode, or don't even have it in your room, right? Or block off apps, block off websites that you frequently visit that distract you. It's basically like a simple principle of designing for defaults, right? Making it hard for you to not be not disciplined will not leave you fulfilled. They'll just leave you with regrets and wasted time. So start asking yourself, how can you design your life in a way that will ensure you are being productive and making the right decisions? So as we already said, waking up and going to sleep at the same time, having a structured morning and evening routine where you make sure you get the most important things done. For example, in the evening, you can wind down, you can plan the next day, so you eliminate decision fatigue, where you wake up in the morning and you ask yourself, okay, what do I need to do now? No, you plan your day in the evening before that, and then you wake up in the morning and you know exactly what you have to do moment by moment, which eliminates friction to doing whatever it is that needs to be done. Now, the question is this: what do we do when we have all of this environmental design? We are already designed our life to be as disciplined as we could, but still, sometimes we just don't feel like doing the work. And that is really where willpower and self-discipline come. Now, willpower has a lot of misconceptions these days, right? Willpower is absolutely necessary, and there's literally no way that you could survive, that you could build something impactful without using willpower. So all of these people saying, oh, willpower is bullshit, use habits, use routines. Yeah, it only tells half of the story, because even when you create new habits and new routines, you will need willpower to cultivate them. And then you'll also need willpower to maintain those habits, because life is dynamic, right? Things happen. You won't always have the perfect environment all the time and the perfect ability to execute your routines. So you will need willpower. And the belief that I shifted recently is that, yes, willpower is finite, but it is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more it grows. The stronger it will be. So yes, it is finite, but what if you have such enormous amounts of willpower that it literally, you have it for the whole day, right? So we want to start exercising our willpower, and we start by doing it with small daily actions, such as cold showers, washing the dishes right after we eat, or just cleaning your room on a daily basis, changing your sheets, whatever. These small things exercise your willpower and it grows it. And then you're able to make much smarter decisions in the moment-to-moment decisions that you're making, and ensure consistency and ensure that you are doing the right thing every single day. So now we have the vision, we have the purpose, we have the action plan. We actually designed it it's easier for us to be productive and self-disciplined. And we also have we're also practicing our willpower every single day, right? So now I want you to think about this. It made it a lot easier for me to be productive and self-disciplined every single day. I started putting into perspective how my daily decisions actually affect my life. Because if you think about it, you do not change your life overnight, right? You change your life with small daily compounding decisions, right? The decision of me right now recording this YouTube video will not change my life. It won't. This video will probably not change my life. But if I had made the decision to create a YouTube video every single day and market myself every single day for a long period of time, that is going to change my life. So the question is, what are your day-to-day decisions doing to your destiny? That is why we absolutely need to start practicing willpower and practicing more self-discipline, so we have control over those small, appearingly unimportant, but they're actually very important decisions. We need to take control of that. And I want you to get into this perspective. Every single decision that you make, from the moment when you wake up to the moment where you go to sleep, is either a +1 or a -1. So every single decision that you make either gets you towards your goals or moves you away from them, right? So before you start doing anything, you ask yourself, is this decision going to move me towards my goal or away from my goal? And the easy thing to say is, well, if it's going to move me away from my goal, then don't do it. But we actually need tools to help us shift our state so we feel like doing the work that we need to get done, even if we don't feel like it. And I'm going to talk about those two tools in a few minutes. So really start thinking about it every single day. Every decision you make throughout your day is literally affecting your destiny and how you're going to live life. It is literally affecting whether or not you will die with regrets over the things that you could have achieved but did not, or if you will die with fulfillment and impact and enjoyment of the life you have built for yourself. So really what I want to say, and what helped me a lot, is you need to become more aware every single day. So we do this by meditating, mindfulness, whatever you resonate with more. The principle is just live more slowly and start actually being aware of yourself and your daily decisions, right? And because it actually contributes to the next point I'm going to make. Let's say right now you have the intention of being more healthy, right? You want to have more endurance, you want to run every day, and you want to go on a diet. But then you see an ice cream. You see an ice cream and you have an extreme urge to eat that ice cream. So here is the thought pattern that goes in most of people's heads. It's like, oh my god, I want to eat that ice cream. It looks so freaking good. So much dopamine. It tastes so good. Versus, I can run. I need to run. Right? It doesn't make any sense. What we need to do is we need to break that down. It's not that the battle is between eating this amazing ice cream versus running. No, it's actually, okay, will I eat that amazingly tasty ice cream, or will I be more healthy, live longer, feel very, very good with myself, have an extremely, extremely beautiful body, be very proud and confident of me being able to stand up to my own word and do whatever I need to do, right? Do you notice how there's a shift right away? It's like our brain doesn't comprehend the impact that this small decision has on our life, right? Because it's not about that moment of whether you will eat the ice cream or not. It's about what will happen if you get into the habit of eating that ice cream and giving up on yourself every single day. Really think about it. The compounding effect of this decision of giving up on yourself and eating that ice cream, or not doing work or procrastinating, whatever it is, it's so large that you literally can't comprehend it. And that is what we need to start doing. That is why we need to live more slowly and get into perspective that every single decision that we make is affecting our destiny. Now, here's the tool that I am using every single day that helps me get into a state of, there's no way I'm going to procrastinate right now. There's no way, like, I can hold this back. So the first step in that tool is, so for example, right now, if I feel an urge to watch Netflix and I want to procrastinate, right? Instead of doing something very, very productive that I set myself to do, such as, I don't know, prospecting, for example, or marketing or whatever. Sorry. So what I do is this. I have the urge to procrastinate and watch Netflix, right? So I ask myself, okay, I'm literally like talking to myself, okay, I have an urge to watch Netflix right now. And I get into perspective the compounding effect of my daily decisions, right? So what will this urge, what will me giving up and watching Netflix do to my whole life right now? How will this compound over time, right? And like, what is the cost of making this decision a habit? What is the cost of me getting into the habit of giving up on myself every single day? I literally ask this. Now, after I realized that, okay, I'm procrastinating, then I ask myself, okay, what is the cost of making this a habit? Will I allow myself to make this a habit? Whether yes or not, doesn't matter. It's supposed to shift your state a little bit. Now, this is where the real magic happens. Step number 2 is literally, so when you have that extreme urge to, for example, eat ice cream or watch Netflix or whatever, you are in a state. It's a feeling, right? Your brain literally identifies insane pleasure in watching that Netflix or eating ice cream, whatever. And what we want to do is we want to shift our state back to alignment with our goals and our vision. So step number 2, what I do is I ask myself, okay, so after I've said, okay, I have this urge to watch Netflix, to procrastinate, what I'm saying is, step number 2 is, okay, what are my goals? I literally start thinking about my goals. Okay, so you have that urge, and then you ask yourself, okay, so what do you want to achieve in life? Okay, I want to have financial freedom. I want to impact thousands and millions of people, and I want to change lives. I want to provide for my family. I want to experience the best out of life, have the most luxurious restaurants, drive fast cars, whatever. And I want to build a really impactful business. That is my thought pattern. Okay, how would I feel? How would I feel once I achieved that thing, that vision? How would I feel? I literally envision myself achieving all of this and feeling how it feels to live it right now. And all of that is while I have that urge to watch Netflix or procrastinate, right? And then it starts to shift my state a little bit. I start to feel feelings of, fuck, I gotta get this done. Like, there's no fucking way I can watch Netflix right now. That is why it is so important to have a very strong driver and purpose and very clear vision. Because you literally go back to that vision every single day when you don't feel like doing the work. And then it makes doing the work, even after you didn't feel like doing it, effortless. The principle is you emotionally get identified with how it feels like achieving your goal. You see the benefits of it, right? So you put into perspective everything. You put into perspective watching Netflix right now and what will it do to your life, making it a habit. And then you put into perspective, how will it feel once you have achieved everything that you want to achieve? So then the equation becomes either Netflix and feeling like shit and living a life full of regrets, or achieving your life's highest vision. And that single decision is literally going to like decide whether or not you achieve it or not. So it's like a no-brainer offer. It's like a no-brainer question. Of course, I am not going to watch Netflix after I think about it. So I'm not done yet with this step. So the first step was to ask yourself, how will making this a habit affect my life? The second step is we connect to our purpose emotionally, right? So you ask yourself, what are my goals? How would I feel once I achieve those goals? And the third question you want to ask yourself is this: how would I feel if I delay achieving those goals for this sake of temporary pleasure, for the sake of Netflix, for the sake of watching ice cream? How would I feel if I would delay or not achieve my goals at all? For example, how would I feel if I would not be able to be as healthy as I want ever, just for the sake of watching this one Netflix show, just for the sake of eating that shitty ice cream? How would I feel if I wouldn't build the business of my life just for the sake of this one single episode? And yes, it will affect that. It will affect the ability of you to achieve your goals, because as we said, our day-to-day decisions are what creates our life. So if I choose to watch that one Netflix episode, it's just a one Netflix episode, right? But I get into the habit of watching it again and again and again and wasting time. And who knows, maybe I will make other decisions, not only maybe like mindlessly going out, mindlessly scrolling through social media, wasting time procrastinating. It's a small decision that you make, but it compounds insanely over your entire lifetime. So yes, it is a question of whether you will watch that one episode or you will achieve your highest vision. That is why this exercise is so freaking crucial. And it absolutely changed my life in terms of being more self-disciplined. So again, I want to recap this. Number one, you identify the urge to procrastinate or to do something that will move you away from your goal. Or you identify the urge to not do something that is going to contribute to your goal. So for example, eating ice cream, right? Then you ask yourself, what will making this a habit do to my life? How will it affect my life if I make it a habit to give up on myself? And then step number 2 is to reconnect to your purpose. You basically shift your focus here. You shift your focus from I have this urge to watch Netflix to I have a vision that I want to achieve. So what vision would you like? What life do you want to live? Okay, you start thinking about it. Then you start thinking, how would I feel once I achieve that vision? How would I feel? You connect emotionally to that, and it's very important to feel it because that's what shifts your state. And then number 3 is, how would I feel if I delay the goal just for the sake of this stupid temporary pleasure, right? And then, as I said, it becomes effortless for you to do the right thing. Now, you can add another step to this exercise of becoming more self-disciplined, and you can ask yourself, what will this decision do to my future self? Because at the end of the day, everything you do right now affects your future self. Everything that you do right now affects the person you're going to become in the next 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 10 years. So are you being kind to your future self when you're not being self-disciplined, when you're procrastinating, when you're indulging in shitty habits? Are you being kind? No, right? You're not respecting your future self when you're doing that type of behavior. You want to ask yourself, who will I become if I say yes to all of this temporary pleasure? What kind of person will I become? Will I become a more consistent, more disciplined, more successful, full of achievements person? Or will I fall down this negative spiral? Because it can lead to a negative spiral. As stupid as it sounds, it's just one ice cream, right? It's just one Netflix show. But we are creatures of habit. And if you will make it a habit for you to give up on yourself every single day, then we have a problem. So yeah, be more kind to your future self and ask yourself, what will this decision do to my future self? Who will I become if I say yes to that thing? Or if I say no to prospecting? Or if I say no to creating this YouTube video? So here's the summary of the first tool that I let's call it shift your focus, okay? By the way, this is from a book called Mindful Self-Discipline, and it is incredible, freaking incredible. Okay, it is literally the Bible of self-discipline. So if you want to dive deeper into this, then I would extremely recommend you to read it. So here's the summary. Step number 1 is you recognize the urge, right? You ask yourself, okay, what will making this a habit do for my life? I have an urge to watch Netflix right now, right? You zoom out and you ask yourself, okay, how will this affect my life? Step number 2 is we reconnect to our vision, to our purpose emotionally by reminding ourselves of what we want to achieve, how we would feel once we achieve it, and how we would feel if we were to delay the achievement of that goal for that one simple pleasure. And then step number 3 is basically connect to your future self. Ask yourself, who am I being if I'm saying yes to this sort of activity, right? So you want to basically be kind to your future self, and we want to live our life knowing that our future self is looking at us right now. Every single decision that we make, our future self is looking at us. Will we make him proud or will we make him be regretful, right? And the next tool is a little similar to that. The next tool is, instead of shifting our focus, we shift our perspective, we shift our perception, right? So it's basically the two first like steps are the similar. You recognize there's an urge. You ask yourself, okay, what will this do to my life? How will making this a habit affect my life? And then step number 2 is, instead of zooming out on perspectives, you actually shift your perception around that simple activity. So for example, if you want to eat ice cream, your brain's default is, oh, this ice cream is tasty, let's eat it, against I need to run, right? So at that point, you shift your perspective around eating that ice cream. You literally like immerse yourself in feeling so bad about eating that ice cream that going for that run or eating that salad is literally a no-brainer, right? So you say to yourself, yo, eating this ice cream will literally destroy my life. I will feel like shit. I will input so much crap into my body. I will literally die 30 years older. I will live a life full of regrets, and because I will be fat. I will not be proud of how I look like. I will not be proud of my confidence because I'm not able to keep my word to myself. Do you see what I'm doing here? We are shifting our perspectives from, hey, this ice cream looks so freaking tasty, to this ice cream will literally destroy my life. And yes, we over-exaggerate a little bit. We exaggerate a little bit, but it's just for the same principle of shifting our state from wanting to eat that ice cream to connecting to our highest self, and to like shifting our state to do what the right thing to do is. So what we do is we literally like contemplate all the negative things that can happen from eating that ice cream or doing that harmful activity. We contemplate what will happen to our life. What are the negative consequences of doing that activity or not doing a certain activity that we need to do, right? So you can exaggerate all you want here as long as you like actually shift your state. So if exercise number 1, shift your focus, was contemplating like what is our vision, here we actually focus on what are the consequences of like doing the opposite, right? So yes, eating that ice cream, watching that Netflix show, being afraid of taking that risk will literally destroy your life if we get into a perspective of daily decisions, which is what creates our life. That is like the summary of how to be more self-disciplined. You first start by having a very, very clear, and it's absolutely crucial, having a very, very clear, sorry, I'm just checking if I'm on my focus here. Having a very clear vision or purpose, right? Having a very clear action plan for how you're going to achieve that purpose and vision. Designing your environment, habits, and routines in a way that makes it easier for you to be productive and self-disciplined. And then using one of the 2 tools that I have talked about. Either shift your focus Again, zoom out, zoom out, be aware of the compounding effect of daily decisions, right? Ask yourself, how will making this a habit affect my life? Reconnect emotionally to your purpose. Okay, what do I want to achieve? Why do I want to achieve it? Like, how would I feel once I achieve it? And how would I feel if I delay the achievement of this goal for a stupid freaking activity? That's number one. That's shift your focus. Number two is shift your perception. We shift our perception regarding this specific activity. So again, we zoom out. We have the zooming out perspective of daily decisions, right? We ask ourselves, how will making this a habit affect me? And then we contemplate the negative consequences of doing that one activity. So we really dive deep and we make ourselves feel like shit if we were to do this harmful activity, right? And you can literally apply this to anything, like going out, partying, whatever. It's like, I think if you have a strong purpose and driver, again, have a strong purpose and driver, it is absolutely fucking crucial, then you can shift your state like that. And then you make work that feels like shit feel incredible, feel effortless for you. Because we are creatures of feelings, right? If we can practice to shift our feelings, shift our state from moment to moment, then we're unstoppable. So yeah, that is the video of self-discipline. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was valuable. We went pretty long here. And I know I'm being repetitious. It is because I know repetition makes you learn more and it makes you remember. So go out there right now, apply it, write down the shift your focus, shift your perception techniques, and go read Mindful Self-Discipline if you want to dive deeper into these concepts. Thank you for watching, guys. I fucking love you. See you in the next video.